Being bootstrapped, there are lots of limitations, including hiring key employees and also expanding our technology, sales and marketing. It's all expensive. So he told me one thing, it's not about making the biggest or best technology in the world. Even if you're making something that is simple and people will buy it in more volume, that makes the difference. I've always encouraged with my team members also to keep on learning to see what are the major trends in the industry. And obviously we can't ignore AI. If you're not using AI, you are outdated. The digital signage industry in India is currently, as of 2024, valued at 1 billion. And as per the CAGR currently 10 to 14%. So it is supposed to be 1.9 billion by 2030.
Hey, hi Jinu. Thank you so much for coming to this podcast, the Sujit Kumar Show. In the beginning of the podcast, generally I ask people, how was your day? Definitely I'll understand that and I'll try to understand about yourself as well. But in the beginning, in the backstage, we discuss that your business is bootstrap.
Correct.
I need to understand what is the mindset behind starting this business as a bootstrap.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mainly there were some concerns I had, and also being the first generation entrepreneur in my family, I didn't have much people to advise me what to do, what not to. And main thing what I wanted initially was that I wanted complete ownership of the company. And also I was afraid that in case if I added some investors, I have to give a small part of the company, or maybe if I'm pitching it to investors at the initial stage, I might have to give a big chunk of the company. Then it might affect decision making. I always had that fear. That was one thing. And second thing was that if we are going for investments, we might get some contingencies or they might keep some conditions. So for that we might have to ignore being profitable and we have to go for a rapid growth. So those were some of the things that always made me worried.
So initially you thought to take all the control in terms of taking decision so that you can drive your own business, and with time when you grow, that's a different thing. But
Correct.
Are you planning for finding investor right now?
So actually I had a complete different in mindset now. So initially once I started, that was my mindset. But now as I gained more experience, started working with multiple companies and handling more team members, what I understood was that if we want to conquer the market in a good way, we should require investment. Otherwise, being bootstrapped, there are lots of limitations, including hiring key employees and also expanding our technology, sales and marketing. It's all expensive. So that is one trade-off that we have to make. So, and one more advantage, actually there is one more advantage in having an investor. So they will also support by sharing their networks and also giving strategic advices. And so at this stage I feel having an investment is also good. So but if you have enough money to bootstrap and completely manage it, then that is fine. So then you can have complete control of the company. But if you are willing to make this trade-off, then it is fine. Otherwise, one disadvantage mainly we are facing is that being bootstrapped when we are competing with other companies who are funded. So we can't reach that scale of growth. So for that we have to keep on investing more.
Only you are talking about scale or the total ecosystem in terms of technology, in terms of human resource, in terms of sales, everything, right?
Everything. Actually, it's not just about one thing. It constitutes of everything. So for example, if you want to hire people, or if you want to do sales and marketing, if it is in any platform, whether in Google or Meta ads, whatever you want to do, it all comes with a cost. And also people to manage it. All those things. That's why we have to do that.
Correct. I mean, I'm trying to understand, what is your age right now?
So what do you think about my age? So let's
I only can guess.
Yeah,
You'll be
fine.
less than 30 for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Actually, I'm 26 now.
Okay.
So I started this company when I was 24. So I worked few years and then I started this.
So how you, thought of like, I need to start a company rather than doing a general kind of IT jobs or something like that. What kind of thought came to your mind and how you thought to process it? Who helped you in this? Because at that age, it's very difficult to get right direction.
Correct. So actually, since childhood, I always wanted to start my own company. I had that dream, but I didn't know how to do it. And also there is that fear, what if I do something and it turns out bad and I lose, or I end up losing all the money. So that was one of the biggest fear I had. And also I didn't properly plan and start this company. So as I mentioned, I worked in a company for few years. So I started off as an intern. Then I reached one of the top positions of technology, handling technology in that company for
Which
Middle East.
position or what kind of
So I
skills or
started-
technology you worked for?
So I worked in the digital signage industry. So I started off as a digital intern where I had to install the LED screens or displays or configure the system and all. So then I got promoted. Within 3 months I got promoted to projects engineer, and then within 6 months I got promoted to projects and technical pre-sales, and by the time I resigned I was promoted to technical head of technology of that company for entire Middle East. So but then for me, I thought of going for higher education, but once I quit the job and came back, I understood I wanted to continue working. It made me really happy. So whenever I provided a solution or gave a new solution to a client in terms of technology, I was really happy when they told that it works really well. Seeing them smiling and telling that we have done a really good job, I really wanted to get that more. That's why I thought, rather than studying, how about I use that money for starting this company. But I had to mentally prepare myself a lot for that.
For which company you worked?
Actually, I worked for Blue Rhine Industries, which is a digital signage company in the Middle East. So they are mainly based in the UAE, and they have branches across Saudi Arabia, they have Kuwait, Oman, and different Egypt also they have recently. So I used to work with them for nearly 2 years.
2 years. Then the work that you do at that company, and you see the business, and you thought you can also create the same thing of your own, if I'm not wrong?
Initially I didn't have that thought. So but one thing I felt there was that being an employee or a lower level employee initially, I didn't have much power, or I couldn't do much decision making. There were lots of situations where I felt I could have done much better. But it has to go through the process and I have to understand that also. So once I planned to start a company, one thing I made sure was that main priority will be giving simple solution to clients. There is one thing I always remember, my old mentor in my company. So he was my boss. His name is Neeraj. So he told me one thing, it's not about making the biggest or best technology in the world. Even if you're making something that is simple and people will buy it in more volume, that makes the difference. So I always emphasized on that part. So whatever I provided, it should be of proper value. So the people, it should be valuable to them and it should help them save, at least maybe in terms of money, they should be able to save it, or time. So that is one thing I always considered from the start.
You're talking about that you thought of doing higher education, and then rather than doing higher education, you thought rather we spend money on that, we should spend money on business.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
It is your perception, or this is the way you thought. But I want to understand what come to your mind that you thought, okay, now I need to spend, let's say, 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs amount in certain courses or certain degree, but I will spend this much of amount in this business. And because it's required a lot of confidence, a lot of risk as well. How you have done this, all of this?
So actually what happened was that I initially wrote the IELTS exam and I got 8 out of 9. So I was planning to go to Canada. So I wanted to study in one of the top university. So one main thing I thought was that even if I go for higher studies, I don't want to do it in any normal university. I wanted to do it in one of the top university, so then at least I can get some network, some good connections I can get. From there I was thinking I'll meet some good people, make them co-founders, start a company. But then I also had the thought, instead of that, how about I start this company? So one thing I completely had was that time. I had lots of time and I had the energy and mind to do it. So I thought, how about convincing parents? And that is the toughest part of this journey.
How do
it took months for me to convince them.
Okay.
Because they haven't done any business, and being a first generation entrepreneur, it was difficult convincing them. So for them, they were more with the fact that if you are getting good education, you'll get a better job, your life will be more stable.
It's in every family, bro.
That is one thing I saw. And second thing, what made me feel more to start this company was that once I came back from Dubai to India, one trend I saw, most of my friends or family, people from the age 18 to 30, they are migrating to other countries. I don't know why they are going. And same, I also felt, why should I go to other country? I can start a company in India and I can provide more employment. I can give good opportunities to people who are really skilled. So that is one of the other factors why I started this company. Because, and next thing I thought was that rather than going to other country, studying and then looking for a job, and then I have to keep on shifting from one job to another for better salary, it will be similar to a race. Rather than that, if I have to put more efforts in the starting stage, but it will be beneficial at the long term, I felt. And also this keeps me more happy, and it has been my dream since college days, or you can say even from childhood. I always wanted to create something new or have something on my own.
Bro, but when you told your parents that you want to do business, so what kind of questions they have asked you? First thing they asked, are you crazy? That is the first question that my parents asked me. And they asked me, if you are able, like, you don't have much experience, so one thing you can do, they gave me an advice. So what they suggested was that, so you can go for higher studies, you work for 2 more years, you gain little bit more experience, and then you start the company. At that time you will have some earnings also. So for me, I thought in a different way. But if I'm going for higher studies, minimum 2 years will be gone for masters, and then working in another company, if I'm joining there, I have to give them at least 2-year commitment, so that then 4 years will be gone. So at that time I'll be going with that flow, and later I won't feel to start this company, and then I might lose this energy and this Josh. You call that Josh, right? So that mindset also I might lose. I was afraid of losing that. So main thing what I had now was that time and that energy and mindset. I didn't want to risk and lose that. What is digital signage? Please explain me
Digital
that.
signage. So
and please explain me in a way that I need to understand, like from zero.
Okay, I'll explain. So if you have gone to shopping malls or any retail shops, you might see some advertisement screens. It can be maybe LED screens, bigger screens, or small LCD TVs. So those type of displays that can be used for advertisement. It's different from the normal domestic TVs that we use. The normal TVs that we use can be run continuously for 12 hours, 14 hours. After that, the hardware might get damaged. So digital signage, it's more industrial grade, or the hardware that can sustain for longer period of time, 24/7, maybe for 3 years, 5 years. So that is digital signage. So in simple words, if you want to tell, any screen or digital physical hardware that can be used for advertisement or branding purposes. So that is digital signage.
Okay. And what is the market size of this business?
So as of 2024, digital signage industry is valued at $29 billion.
$29 billion. And it's, what is the market size in India?
The digital signage industry in India is currently, as of 2024, valued at 1 billion. And as per the CAGR currently, 10 to 13-14%. So it is supposed to be 1.9 billion by 2030.
Okay, in India.
In India.
Great, yeah, great. And what are the major cities or place that you think it would be great to have these businesses?
So from my network and also with the people whom I worked before and the thought leaders in this industry, I personally feel cities like Bangalore, Hyderabad is also blooming now, Delhi, then we have UP is also happening. There are lots of changes happening. Mumbai is happening, and Chennai also, and Kerala, it's emerging now. People are starting to adapt it, adopt such technologies.
So you're talking about mostly about Tier 1 cities.
Correct, Tier 1 cities we can tell.
What about Tier 2 cities or?
Tier 2 main issue earlier was that there was not much active internet connections. People didn't have access to much proper networks earlier, but now that changed after Jio introduced the Wi-Fi mobile data, and also the network cost slashed. So now people are starting to adopt. So at this stage, I feel that is why this is the right time also for us to start this company.
Do we have that infrastructure wherein this business actually feasible in Tier 2 cities?
Yes, now we have.
Okay.
So from the time back in 2022 when I started traveling, initially before starting this company, I traveled to a few cities just to understand who all are the big players in this industry, what all solutions are there, just to understand what are the pricing, so what all solutions they use, and are they using any third party, or do we have any competitors in India. So for finding all those things, I traveled, and what I understood was that people are adopting this technology now because internet became cheaper. So people can easily afford it. And also once YouTube, after internet was easily available for everyone, most things about how to connect this, configure, all those things are available in internet, maybe in YouTube or Google. So that is why it became more adoptable here. And now more people started using it in a larger scale also. Even small or mid-sized companies also started using it to boost their sales or creating brand awareness. It creates that loyalty. So I'll give you one example. So when you think about toothpaste, which brand comes to your mind?
Colgate.
Why do you think so?
Because I think they have done good branding.
Okay, branding means you have seen that video, right?
Yeah.
Normally. Same way digital signage. So assume that we have a big digital signage screen on the road. So every day you are going to work and you see one advertisement continuously for a few days. So then that brand, next time, if it is a toothpaste brand or if it is a shampoo brand, so next time when you think about shampoo, that thing comes to your mind because you have been seeing it. So you can't skip it also. That is one advantage.
In my subconscious mind, it
comes to your mind because you are seeing it in a visual. That too, videos creates more impression and it lasts longer than images or normal static signages. So that brand awareness, you'll be aware that there is a brand that exists in this segment. So it creates that.
So what all field or where it can be implemented? Like you're talking about some $1 billion value. $1 billion. We have
total addressable market.
Market is there, right? Where is that platform? Which is that platform where this business can get implemented?
So you mean which all industries or sectors?
Industry and sectors or
ideal clients.
Anything you can give me to understand in a broad way.
Who want to do their own branding or they want to do advertisement for other clients. So those type of people we can call ideal clients. I'll give you some examples. It can be done in the education sector. So it can be done for the events that is happening in a college or in schools, or it can be done for creating awareness about any new campaigns. So recently in Kerala also they are doing some anti-drug campaign and also tying up with the government. They are doing vehicle safety because at this young age, school age or college age, students used to drive very fastly. So they wanted to create some awareness. So they are doing similar campaigns also.
How they are doing it?
So they're doing in the digital screens. So in the campus there might be few screens. At this stage there are nearly 2 to 5 screens in each some universities. So they are playing these campaigns. So whenever people are looking at it, they'll get idea. So it is coming to their mind. So next time when they're speeding or they're going they are breaking the law or something, they might think we have seen that it might be dangerous. So just to create that awareness.
So is it only limited to digital screen or like is there anywhere it can get implemented?
So actually digital signages now it is limited to digital screens. Main thing is that we wanted to do it in a physical hardware. It's not about normally if you're going for digital.
What is physical hardware?
Physical hardware means anything that is physically, rather than once you're YouTubing, having it in Google or any other websites, that is not digital. You can call it, that is more into digital. It's not physical. So physical hardware, in simple ways, it can be any hardware that is installed at any location. So in that main purpose is that for branding or advertisement.
But how is that different with digital thing and physical hardware?
So digital thing you mean websites or other things, right?
Okay.
So in the websites and all there is an option to skip it. So here we don't have that option.
Okay.
And also website, another thing is that it's more frustrating. We might be doing something and in between this ad comes, it creates more frustration and we might think it's affecting our work or what we are currently doing.
Okay, but you said, let's say in college some digital screen is there, or any mall some digital screen is there, right? Anywhere if it is there, right?
Yes.
Then this thing can get implemented.
Correct, this can be implemented.
Right, there is no one coming to skip something because it's a screen, right?
Correct.
Then what is the physical hardware here?
Physical hardware means the computers or the displays or any supporting hardware that is required to run this content on the screen.
Okay, understood. So that is also part of business.
Correct. So digital signage mainly constitute of the digital signage softwares. So it is called a CMS, content management software. And then second, we have the displays. And other than displays, then we require a computer or any mini PC we might call. It should be all industrial grade. And if you want any interaction or any immersive or enhancing effects, we can use sensors or any additional tools or hardware for that.
Okay, bro, I have interrupted you in the beginning. So I want to understand, when you thought of starting this, then hiring people, managing the technology, creating your own product, there are a lot of challenges.
Correct.
So how you prioritize all these things, and how you solve all this problem?
So actually, what I did was that initially, rather than hiring my own team, I thought of outsourcing the technology. I thought of hiring a software development team, so who can do it for a cheaper price, because I didn't have much skills to hire people in the software sector. Because in my previous experiences, I used to work mainly in the research and development, that too not specifically software. Software I have worked, but it was a small part of what I did. So I did that, I hired a company for that. So but even after 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, I was not getting any results. Not even 1% of the work was being done. So they committed to all the work at start, but they were not able to deliver even a small portion of it.
Okay.
So I had to make the tough call to cancel the contract. Then I understood one thing: if I am hiring my own team, I can have complete control over it, hold over it or control. So for example, in between, if I want to make any updates or changes, if I'm outsourcing a company, we have to pay extra, and they might not even accept it also. They might tell the timeline will increase. So those were some of the difficulties I faced initially, and no results also. Even if you're paying, there is no guarantee that 100% they can do it. I'm just giving my refined ideas of how it should be, but they might not be able to deliver what I really want. So then I thought of hiring my own team, but there was one big challenge for me. I didn't know how to hire. So I started to refer more YouTube videos, how to hire people, and I also got help from some of my friends who work in the software industry. So then I started interviewing people. After I interviewed nearly 200-300 people, I understood, because I came to know what all are the technologies that they are using, what all main questions that I should ask. So it helped me. So rather than hiring people immediately, I did that hiring process nearly for 1 month, 1 to 2 months I did. So then I also learned from them. So it was a learning journey for me. So I learned and then I implemented that. So rather than how I interviewed the initial candidates, now how I interview, it is completely different. Now I know what to ask, what not to ask, and it's not about asking too much technical. So another major thing I understood was that even if someone is not that great in coding, but if they have the right attitude, they can learn it. So at the start, I hired some people who are very strong in coding and all, but that didn't work out. Their attitude was bad. So even if I asked them for some changes, they were not willing to accept it. They were giving some reasons and they're delaying the project. So then I understood, having the right people with the right mindset, who thinks almost same way as me, who wants to create something that is different and that is more useful for the clients. So that was the major hiring issue I had. But then over the time, how more people I interviewed, I got better at it. Now I can tell I'm pretty good at it.
Now, right?
Yeah, pretty good at it.
So you said first you outsourced,
Correct.
right? Then you thought no, it's not going good, because even I also feel the same, because they would be in a mindset saying that if we extend this, so we'll charge more.
Correct.
Right? And sometimes they will not be aligned to your thought process, because it's totally business, right? But if you have control, and wherein the same mindset people are you guys are working, right? Then things can move faster.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And yeah, that's true. So after hiring, then what you did?
So next thing was that how to manage my time, because I was the CEO of the company. I thought CEO means we have to do little bit of things. Then later I understood, for a startup, CEO means Chief Everything Officer. I have to be the HR, I have to be the IT admin. Sometimes I have to be the developer, I have to discuss with my developers. Sometimes I have to do the other task. So it doesn't mean that we have to do just few tasks. So managing my time, that was the second most difficult thing I found. So what I did was that I took an online MBA course, that too from Udemy only. So there were some good courses. I checked some reviews and next thing I did, rather than reviews, I checked for good mentors or people who created that content. So I referred that and I took one course, and it really helped me. It helped me understand how I can manage the time. And also, rather than just focusing on results, one more thing what I understood was that managing the people in the right way, that will bring results more. If you are simply focusing on results, do that, do this and all, it won't work. But we have to make it such a way that they also feel that commitment. So that teamwork, it mainly depends on that teamwork and all. So rather than what courses I learned, that is one part. From my experiences, I learned more. When I experienced it, mostly difficulties, I keep on thinking what can be done better. If I had to go in the past, what should I do to make it better? Those experiences really made me who I am now.
So actually you have well said that CEO means it's not chief executive officer, it's chief
Everything officer.
Right? That's actually well said. So after hiring, of course, you would be you had a roadmap and you create your own product, right?
Correct.
So tell me about your product and your journey of your product.
So I'll start with the basic thing. So product, what I wanted was that, so initial years in my previous company, so being an intern itself, I started working on CMS, content management software. And also I worked for multiple interactive solutions. So I always wanted to create something more interactive with more sensors, where we'll get that wow effect from people. So I thought of having a digital signage company. I made an initial pitch deck. So I started pitching to investors. Then I found that it's a too congested market. There are lots of players who are bootstrapped and who have reached this position after 5 to 10 years. And if I'm starting as a bootstrapped company, as a new startup, it is very difficult for me to survive in that market.
Correct.
So then I understood that rather than going entirely for the digital signage market, there are some pain points faced by the customers, mainly the content management. So there was a gap there I found. Most of the softwares that I've used more than 100, 120 softwares, different ones. But common thing I found was that it's complex to use. Even for me, I've been working in this industry for nearly 5 years, it's still I find some software difficult to understand. If I'm going from one section to another, it's completely different and I can't even relate. So that it's not simple or user intuitive, I'll tell. So I wanted to create something that is more user intuitive and simple. Even for a person without technical knowledge, they should be able to manage it after seeing it once.
Okay.
So that was the main thing I thought. USP, I thought of a USP at that stage. So I'm not sure whether I should talk about USP now, but suddenly I wanted to tell that, because USP, I initially thought it should be simple, because it's not about giving something that is more complicated, making it simple so anyone can use that too with great ease and less time. So simplicity and less time, that is one thing I focused. And then I came to the conclusion I wanted to have a software, digital signage CMS. So then from there I started designing the software and then development started. It went with the flow. So actually product, it's been nearly 2 years we researched and we did the R&D for this project. So now the product is ready. It's mainly what we have done was that we have done a lot of research on the competitors, what all solutions they offer, what all are the key points that make people use their software, and what all major trends are happening in the industry. So those things I referred, and I started attending more exhibitions, events.
So what are the key points or what are the pain of the customer that you are solving through your product that you came across? Can you discuss? Can you elaborate that?
Main pain points that was that it's too complex to use. Second thing is that navigation or organizing files or media, it's very difficult. Third thing is that there are lots of limitation or cost is very high.
Okay.
So and fourth one was that it's not streamlined. People without technical expertise can't use it. So these were some of the pain points I personally found.
So first thing, how you are solving this problem for the people who are not able to use it or don't know how to use it?
So what we have done was that we have made it in a very streamlined way, that too even if you're seeing or using it for once, you can completely do it by yourself. You don't require any of the other team members from our team to help you or guide you to how to use that. So that is one thing we focused, and that is one of the best things of our product, Asta. So
Your product name is?
Asta.
Can you spell it?
ASTA.
Asta. Okay.
So actually initially I didn't name this product Asta. I didn't even have a name for it. I was thinking FutureIK CMS. So our company's name is FutureIK Technologies, as you know. So I wanted to name it FutureIK CMS. So then that name was not that good, I felt. FutureIK CMS. When people tell that, it's not that easy to remember also, and it might be not that great when you tell also. So then I was searching for name. Then once I saw that Asta means star or something that is very bright or divine. And also in Arabic it means brand messenger. So we are also doing brand messaging, right? So then I thought this is the right word for us, and it's small and easy to remember. Asta, it's the brightest thing that will bright up the brands and make it more popular or give them more awareness.
So you're talking about the pain points, and you said the people who are not able to use it, once they see your some training video or something like that, or you guys give training on this?
What we do is that normally once we onboard a client, we'll give them an onboarding session. So we'll explain about the tool, how to use it. In less than 30 minutes, we give them a demo, and we explain to them this is what you have to do and this is the normal flow. So I'll give you a quick thing on that. So whenever we are doing any digital signage software, firstly we have to install the applications for the screens. So once we install that, we have to add the media files in the cloud, or if it is however it is, you can add it in the CMS part. So then from there you can create campaign. Campaign means how the content should be sent to the screen. It can be a set of media.
Okay, they can create campaign through that software itself.
Correct. In that software itself you can create content, and we wanted to make it more easy, drag and drop type, or you can add multiple media time. We don't wanted to restrict such a way that only video or image. So what we have done was that we have added multiple media options. So where we have images, videos, web browsers, live stream, we have text content, ticker. So these are some of the...
What is ticker?
Ticker means, so you have seen the breaking news and all in the news channels, right? So similar to that, scrolling text.
Okay.
So you can add RSS feeds. So RSS feeds means from each news channels or any websites, you can get the RSS link. So in that there will be predefined content that they do, and once they update it, it will be live. So we add that link only in our CMS, and that content will be live. So for example, if you are adding a content from Times Now, so you just give that link and it should be live. The device should have active internet. So once they are updating, this content also will be updated live. So all the live content will be there. Or you can do static or predefined one. So where we write the text content. So you can arrange it such a way that you can keep it title and description. So whether you want the title to be fixed or scrollable, all those can be controlled. Whether you want to change the size, color, it's fully what we have done. We wanted to make it more customizable. However the client want it, they can easily do it, that too within few seconds. Main thing what we focused was that it should be done in less than 60 seconds. So that we have achieved also.
Okay, so now you talk about you make it in a very simpler way to the people who will be using it.
Correct.
So let's talk about the costing part. Right now you talk that you said in terms of costing, it is lesser when we compare to other brands.
Correct.
Right. How it does differ, and how you're making this as possible?
Okay, so what we have done was that we have referred or compared with the top competitors who are giving all the features. It's not with the people who sell the less features with less money. So what we have done was that we compared with the top competitors who have all the features or somewhat near or similar to us. So we have managed to make it nearly 40 to 50% lesser in cost. So since we have developed all this in-house, we were able to manage that.
So you're talking about that you have given this option of customizing it, and let's say they want you have 10 features, and if they require 4 features, they can go for 4 features rather than taking of 10 features.
So right? What we have done, I want to correct you on that part. Customization means when you're creating, for example, if you're creating a content in Canva, you can create color change and all, right? That customization I meant. And if people doesn't want all the features, they want a cheaper or little bit lower end version, we have 2 licenses as of now, standard version and professional. So in standard basic, if you are a small or mid-sized company where you just want to the basic campaigns, or if you want to do the basic branding part, you can do that. So but if you're going to the professional part, you'll get more features in terms of speed. You'll get better, and then more security it will be. And then we have some other features also on top of that.
Which country has this digital signage uses more, or we can talk about there it's normal to have this businesses, and every shop owner or every everything goes into digital?
So if you ask for such a country, it will be China only, because nearly 90% of the digital signage hardware comes from China.
Okay.
So, but there is one limitation also. Since they have a different internet, we are not able to provide our cloud hosted one to them. So we have to separately host in their country, in their supported cloud, then only they'll be able to use it. So but if you ask me that, China, mostly if you're going to any corner, you will see digital signages. Even for a small restaurant or for a small tea shop, you will find that.
Is that really work for that business?
Actually it works. So mostly what happens is that while you're walking through a road or somewhere, so once you see them showing their food, maybe it's a burger or it's a tea, when you see that live in video, you might be tempted to get that. So that is one way they attract customers.
In a way, let's say if I have a restaurant, okay, if I'm doing that, some way I'm also targeting, let's say I do have a footfall of 500 people, 1,000 people in a day, right? Now I can attract other investor to invest this digital signage, right?
Correct.
So that they can put on ad over here.
Correct.
Which is respective to obviously food industry, right?
Correct.
So that people can invest in that, and those people who are coming to my place, they can watch that.
Correct. So that is also being done now. So it's mainly, it comes into display out of home. It's called a DOOH. It can be called, some people call it display out of home, but proper word I feel it's a digital out of home. So what happens is that, so in case if you have a restaurant, so there might be people coming, as you mentioned, footfall are there. So you can approach brands, or brands will approach you some cases. So if the people coming there are their potential targets or prospects. So for example, if you, as I mentioned, you have a restaurant. So if you are playing something of a toothpaste that is affordable and can be accepted or bought by the people. So what they do is that they will tell, so you have to play my advertisement or my campaigns on your screen for these many hours. So based on that hours, you charge them. So that also is done, but mainly it is the pricing and all is managed by how many footfall, how many people come, whether that area or that screen position, if more people are able to see it or not. So that is also done a lot, and mainly in European countries it's being done a lot.
Nowadays,
not just nowadays, from the past few years it's a lot, especially in UK. So wherever the corner you are going, there might be a screen, and people are paying similar to a subscription. They might be taking it for 30 days, 1 hour per day. And for the peak hours where more people or crowd or footfall will be there, the price will be more, and for off peak hours it will be less price.
Do you guys also help in installing the hardware, everything in India or out of India? Like, let's say someone want to install everything, right? From,
we don't sell the hardware, but if it is something that we know, we can assist them, or we have partners across all regions. So if you're taking the example of Dubai, if a client wants to install a screen, or in India if they want to install a screen, so and we will check with them which is the region that they want it. In India, if they want it in Bangalore, so we have local partners for that region. So we'll contact them and they will be doing it, and we'll be providing the software to that partner, and partner will be selling to the client.
My intent of asking this question because small businesses,
Okay.
Because large businesses, definitely they have money, they have contacts, they have ecosystem, they can do it. But when it comes to small businesses, how can we facilitate this digital trends? How we can do it? Because if we are talking about people are not aware of this, first of a thing, right? In India, and it's not in that scale. If we're talking about even Taiwan cities, okay?
Correct.
So how we can make aware of this? How can we reach out to this, or how you guys are doing on a ground level?
So what we do is that in India, main issue I found was that people mainly get convinced, or they trust the people of that same region. For example, if I am being a person from Kerala, if I'm trying to go for a state which is mother tongue I don't know, So then it will be difficult for me to speak and also provide them local support and communication. It's difficult. So what we do is that we don't directly sell to end customers. We operate through our partners. So who are the distributors or resellers? Through channel partners. So if you want to sell it to a client in Bangalore, so we operate through our partner in that region, and they will provide the solution to the client. So they will provide the hardware. Mostly the partners are the people who provide the hardware or integration in terms of connecting the hardware, installing it, making sure that it works well, maintenance and support. They provide all that, and we provide to them. So this way the client will get the best local support, and they'll get immediate support. So rather than directly coming to us, they'll get the immediate and quick support. So this is not just the case of India. Our product is a global product. We sell it across the globe. So being our major team is in India, and we have some team in Dubai also. So if you're selling to one client in UK, and or for the existing clients we have in UK, the timing is different, or in Canada the timing is different. So since we operate through our regional partners there, they are able to provide the prompt support always. So that is one advantage we have.
Good. Understood. So what do you think of interactive screen? Let's talk about the interactive screen.
Okay.
What is the need of that, and how soon people are going to use it in upcoming days?
Okay, I'll start off with what interactive means. So in basic terms, interactive means that it's not a normal screen. It can be a touch sensitive screen. Touch sensitive screen is the basic example of interactive. So
like when we go to ATM, right, we select different
Correct.
options.
So
right?
that is an interaction. Even that click that you make, that is an interaction.
Correct.
So what happens differently from the normal screen is that you are interacting live to it. You are engaging yourself to it. So which means that you are spending more time to that, and you are able to use that. You are being more interested. So interactive means that it is making you more engaged to that, and it will help you use that more. And for the brand, one advantage that they get by interactive screens is that the customers are spending more time on that. So what they are trying to convey is being conveyed to the client or the target prospects.
I believe it is also a way to hold customer time or customer presence, right?
Correct.
So that they can get involved, they can get understand of what things are going on or what product they are selling. It's just taking more customer time, so that customer can understand in his own time. Okay. So after your product get launched, first of all, when your product is getting launched?
So we are planning to launch it by the end of this Q1, before April this month 2025. The year 2025 April, we are planning to launch the product.
Okay.
So
and then what all industry you guys are targeting?
So we are mainly targeting the sectors or industry such as hospitality, or it can be education, or it can be retail. Retail is one of our biggest industry. And then we have automotive industry, we have corporate offices, residential areas. So these are some of the industry, and on top of that we are focusing on digital out of home also, which is having a big boom these days.
What is it?
Digital out of home, DOOH. So as you mentioned earlier, those are the type of industry in which people on their screen do branding of other clients on a payment basis. Maybe it's a subscription type. They'll get payment and they'll do advertisement on their screens.
Okay.
So that is also, it's one of the blooming sectors now. I'll give you an example why. So for instance, if you have a local shop, but you are having a lot of footfall in front of the shop, lots of people are traveling, passing through, so maybe running that shop you might not get too much income. So once you install a screen, and if you can do advertisement of other companies who are looking for similar kind of prospects or footfall, so then that is an additional revenue for you. So if you are installing it in if you have a prime location and if you have a good screen size, then you can get that revenue or return of that investment within a year.
Have you seen such thing in Bangalore anywhere?
So lots of places it's there. In India now it's a lot.
Okay.
People are started to using it now. Even especially I'll give you a great example in airports. So whichever airports you are going, DOH it's.
Apart from airport, where you have seen?
It can be metro stations. It can be railway stations or any public areas.
public areas or
mostly. Marketplaces or any pub, mostly where there is lot of crowd footfall, you can tell.
Okay, now we're talking about AI, right? Everywhere. Correct. In every platform. Anywhere your product also giving some solutions using AI?
So one thing that we are focused on from start was that we are keen in learning what all are the new technologies. I've always encouraged with my team members also to keep on learning to see what are the major trends in the industry. And obviously we can't ignore AI. If you're not using AI, you are outdated. So some other player will come and they'll replace you. So to stay ahead of the game or curve, so we have to obviously incorporate it. And what we have done was that we found a one pain point and then we used AI to solve that. So what we have done was that from start itself, we have always emphasized on learning new technology or understanding what all are the latest trends in the industry. Because to stay ahead of this competitive game, so we obviously have to learn and understand what people are expecting or what do they really require. And also one thing I've emphasized or encouraged my team from the start was that keep on learning. So if you are having any ideas about something new, feel free, open up and discuss. Have an open discussion and open communication so that we can see how we can implement it. Is it solving any problem? So obviously without AI we can't survive these days, because wherever you are going people are talking about AI. And for us one thing was that we simply don't wanted to implement AI, because nowadays anyone can do AI. What we wanted to do was that we wanted to solve a real problem.
What problem?
So what problem we understood among the people was that when it comes to support, in case if technical or any issues if they are facing, they have to email the support team or they have to raise a ticket and they have to wait few hours for the support team to reply back, and it is time consuming, and sometimes even if they wanted it urgently they have to wait for a long time. So what we did was that we implemented an AI assistant. It's called Pixel. It's our AI assistant, Asta's. So Pixel is a funny but really helpful character from the future. So we have Pixel is actually our mascot. We have designed a mascot called Pixel, and it's an AI assistant, personalized assistant. So for any client who is using our tool Asta, so they have a Pixel in that. So for instance, if you are having any issues or difficulty in using the software or any challenges if you are facing on how to do or user guide, so then you can directly ask Pixel and Pixel will give you a step-by-step guide on how to do it. And another thing what we understood was that sometimes when people are creating the content or campaign, they are not having much ideas. So what we did was that we trained Pixel in such a way that it's fully able or capable to manage or give ideas to the client about what all content if they do it will be better, all those things. So if you want to ask what content can I create for a restaurant, then Pixel will guide you. If you use this kind of content and if you are targeting these kind of people, if you put the campaign or schedule the campaign for these hours in these specific days, and if you rotate the campaign or do some other trend, it will be better. So Pixel is able to guide you through that journey. It's easier to tell that throughout your customer journey using our Asta, Pixel will be your guide. So and you don't have to wait for that long hours. Instantaneous, that too within few seconds you will get the response and you are able to solve it, and you don't even have to write to us or wait for us to reply.
We need to talk about the data privacy part, right? So anything and everything coming through this digital signage, is there anything it can get hacked or data privacy concern is there? How it can get resolved, or is there anything your product has this limitation that okay, we are not doing this, okay, or there is a point that it cannot get hacked due to this mode or this setting or this logic?
Okay, so what we have done from the start is that we have always focused on security, because mostly the people who are using this solution, they should have the trust that whatever content they are uploading, no one else can manage it or modify it to defame them or something, because there are some incidents that happened in the market also recently.
Can you give me a story?
I'll give you a story. Few weeks or months back, in one of the railway station in India, some porn video was played on one of the digital signage screen.
Which part of this?
I don't recall which part, but this happened in two railway stations actually. So it was a big fuss those days, and that company was blacklisted. But till now, we don't know who did that. Maybe someone knowingly did that, or someone hacked and did it. We are not sure. So that's why we have made sure that we have followed all the proper compliance. Even we are ISO 27001 certified. So we are focused on the top industry standards for this, because if any client is buying any solution from us, they are trusting us and doing it. So we didn't want to compromise on that quality of security. So we have maintained that. And next thing is that we have checked all the main compliances. GDPR is one of the compliance. And in India also there are specific compliances. And for other region, we have followed, and we have gone through all the major compliances, and we have followed all that. And we have done with the latest and the best tech in the market. So that whatever if someone does also, they won't be able to change or modify it.
Okay.
Unless the client manually does it, it won't change. And even we also don't have access to the client's account. So once we give a client account to any client, so only they can manage the content. Unless they don't give us access to that account, we can't do it. But we are able to restrict just the licenses or what all usage limits they have.
So we can say by using your product Asta, we can make sure that we have that security. No one can cross it.
Correct.
Right. That's actually good to have it, because nowadays if you heard about ethical hacking and different stuff, right?
Correct.
So people are doing it for fun, people are doing it for money, people are doing it for anything, fame, right?
Some people do that also,
right? And digital signage is a good platform, because
Correct.
they can make themselves famous, or they can pass any sort of information that they want to, right? So that's a big threat as well.
It's a big threat actually. That was one of the main things that we focused from start. So that is one of the challenges of most of the companies. Even now, most of the companies are not even properly certified, and they are not ensuring proper compliance, even though they have written that they are following this compliance and all, but they are not. For us, we have obviously followed the main compliances, and also currently we are mainly using the AWS platform. That is one of the best or most secure part, and we have followed that main compliances similar to GDPR and all, which ensures and makes us the best. So in terms of security, even if you want to ensure that login security is there, we have implemented MFA, multi-factor authentication, or email login. So without that, you won't be able to log in. Even our team also won't be able to log into a client account unless they give us access to that.
Understood. Okay, so let's discuss about your product.
Okay.
And which can create campaign
Correct.
at a certain time frame, right?
Correct.
And it can send to screen.
Correct.
So what is the time frame, and how it can simplify this, so that anyone who is a layman guy to whom you guys have given a training, he can do it in a faster way.
So the content campaign creation happens in a easy 3 steps. So first will be adding the content. So you can add what content you want, and second thing will be scheduling the content. So you can schedule from what day to what day, or daily from what time to what time you want the content to play. So then you have to add the display. That's it. And then it will be published. You can publish it. There will be a publish button, then you can publish.
So step number 1,
that is adding the content. Setup.
Step number 2.
Step number 2 will be the scheduling part. And then step number 3 will be which all screens do you want the content to play, and then publish. That's it. So for the basic or the normal contents, it will take 10 to 20 seconds. Maybe sometimes less than, if you're fast enough, less than 10 seconds it might take. So we have made it that simple.
So the average handling time would be very less.
Correct.
And anyone can create campaign within few seconds.
Yeah, if you want to create a basic content, that will be if you want to send a video to multiple screen. So even if you have 100 screens or 1000 screens, that too you can publish the campaign or send the campaign to thousands of screens in less than 30 seconds.
30 seconds is very less, man. Very less.
It won't even take 30 seconds.
I think this should be your USP.
Correct. That is the main USP. We are making it really simple. So we are not complicating
simple
it
and
too much.
faster.
Simple, fast, efficient, everything.
Great. I mean, it's really nice, because the problem that you're solving and the vision that you have, it is actually going to be in future. People will go to this digital board, and people have all this campaign, people have all this advertisement, and everything goes on advertisement. On a subconscious mind level, people will absorb it for sure.
Correct.
And it's a big business.
And also there has been lots of studies that claim, so if you're playing an image, it is not that effective. But if you're playing a video content, that is more effective. It will create more impact on the people's brain. So they will recall it more. And once if you're seeing a video for few times, the recall rate is more. So that will create more brand awareness.
So let's say in a company, certain number of people are there.
Okay.
And your product can give an access to multiple people, single people, group of people. How is it?
So in our product, we have a feature called RBAC. It's called, in full form, it's called role-based access control. That is one of the selling point or one of the good features that we have over our competitors. So what this feature does is that, so for instance, you are the main person of that company, but you have other people who are supposed to just, one person is supposed to just add the content, one person is supposed to create the content, or maybe if you want to restrict your team members not to publish the content, they can just create the campaign but they can't publish it. It should go from your approval only. So using this RBAC or RBAC or role based access control, you can set for this specific section whether they get the, whether they can only read it, or they can create that section, any files in that section, or they can edit it, or they can delete it, or they are able to publish the content or remove the content from the screen. So specifically for each section, we can mention what all access they have. This fine tuning makes it more easier for the clients to use, even if they are having a, if they are a big enterprise level, large scaled company. Correct. Even with 10,000s or millions or hundred thousands of employees. Correct. They can easily assign what all roles specifically that employee has to have.
Yeah, this customization should be there.
Yeah, it is there. And that
they
is one
cannot
of the
give access to
top
each and
features
every
that we have.
Correct. That's actually good. Because if they try to give everyone every access, that it can get manipulated. Correct. In any way. Correct.
So that is also one of the security concerns. It comes as a small security concern also. Giving people the right access. Correct.
But it totally depends on the customer who is using it.
So mostly it comes for mid-sized or large-scale companies. For smaller companies, mostly one person or two people handle everything.
Correct. So is your product can check the health of physical hardware?
Yeah, actually using our tool in each device file or each device that you have created, you can monitor the health status. Health status, it means CPU usage, RAM usage, disk space. So this helps us to understand whether there is any issue with the hardware or that device is crashed. Whether if that device crashed, we can know it's because of the CPU percentage went high or because the RAM was too high. So this way we can see whether that hardware, is it because of the hardware, or if you want to fix it, you can easily monitor and fix it. And that too, all this data we are getting it live and we are plotting it in our software.
Oh, so and this can be extracted in the sheet, right?
Correct. So what we have done was that in our tool itself you can extract it. So mainly why we did was that many of the clients, they use Google Analytics or Power BI or similar tools for having analytics part. So using our tool in Asta, you can export the data. That too, we haven't limited it such a way it only can be exported in one format. So we have given the flexibility such a way that you can export it either as Excel file or CSV file or PDF or TXT file. So then you can use it with third-party apps for analytics.
So overall, I understood your product is simple, is faster, it's cost effective, and it check health of the physical hardware. Then it can give access to multiple people, multiple group of people, right? So it has a lot of thing which a customer can get it from your software.
Correct.
Asta.
So main thing why we added these features was that we understood, because I worked in this industry closely with more than 200 of clients I've provided. So main thing they had was that they were using multiple tools. Even if they wanted to use basic content management or if they wanted to use advanced one, they were using separate tools. We wanted it all to be in a single platform, that too without complicating it, such a way that it will be super simple for customers, and that too in less than few seconds or less than a minute. That was the main thing. So, and also we wanted it without increasing the cost too much, so that even customers of lower scale, means in a people with less number of employees in a company also, they should be able to manage it, or for mid-sized, or for premium or large scale clients also can use it. And on top of that, we have done one more thing. So we provide enterprise level licenses also, platform license. So in that, what basically means that, so if you have a business, or if you are a business owner who wants specific customization to the software, that is one thing that makes us unique from our competitors. So whatever requirement, if you want to add any AI avatar, or if you want to add any computer vision and integrate and show those values in our dashboard, so we can do that also.
Great.
Based on the work and also how much our timeline it might take, or the features that you require. So there will be additional payments for that, but we are open to do that also. That makes us unique from our competitors.
Okay, now we have discussed about Asta. Now we need to understand, apart from Asta, is there any product your team and you are planning to create, and what all other services you are providing right now?
Okay, so apart from Asta, we also provide few services. One is enterprise level support. So support SLA, we do service level agreements with clients who require premium support. And then apart from that, we do AMCs, annual maintenance contract for clients. And then we do content management and deployment support. So if you are a business who wants to use Asta but you don't want to manage the content or deploy it to the screens, so you can assign us to do that, and we provide that content management and deployment support also, where you share us with the content and you mention what all times or what all screens it should be updated, so we can effectively manage it for you. That is one service. And apart from that, we have the enterprise platform, where we can do customization. That is also a service we provide. And coming back to the question that you asked, whether we are working on any products,
different products.
Correct. Asta is our hero product, and it will always be our hero product. But on top of that, we are working on some other products also that can cater to the people who are using digital signages. So mainly we are targeting the digital signage industry. So we are currently working on multiple projects.
Okay.
But that will be maybe in the next version we can discuss more about it.
You're only trying to solve the problem related to digital version. So will try to create product on similar kind of product. Understood. So, it was nice talking to you. Before we wrap up or ending this podcast, I would ask few things. First thing, that whosoever would be starting a business, what advice you'd be giving, and what advice you'd be giving?
Okay, so if you are an aspiring entrepreneur, if you want to be an entrepreneur, irrespective of age, whether you are 15 years old, 10 years old, or 60, 70, one advice that I would give is that before starting anything, mentally prepare yourself. There will be lots and lots of challenges, hurdles. There might be lots of situations where you might think it's better to give up, I can't do this anymore. But just think that all the struggles that you have gone through, just remember that and never back down. You are going in the right way, but these challenges and struggles are there to make you stronger. That is one piece of advice from me.
The last question, brother.
Yeah.
How was your experience with me in this podcast?
So actually, for me, it was a really insightful and good experience. One thing was that...
that's wrong. It is insightful for me because all the information I am absorbing it.
So same way, I was also able to answer some of the things while you asked. I was thinking more about it. And who knows, maybe I'll get some more ideas that I could use in our software to make it better while discussing with you. And also, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I should be thankful to you also.
It's all okay. We are all connected. We need all each other's support to grow. Even this is format that I have created for my growth, for my digital footprint. We'll see where it goes, but we need more speaker like you. We need more guests like you. So always, it's a pleasure to have such guests like you.
Same way, likewise. It's a pleasure because I was also able to recall many of the things. While you asked many questions, I was able to recall some of the challenges that I faced. And one more thing I wanted to add. I'm sorry if I'm taking too much time.
Let's take your time.
So when I was thinking, I thought of a situation like, in case if you ask me one question, I was thinking, what if you could go back in time and correct or change something?
Okay.
So I was thinking about that. What if you ask me that? What should I tell? But one thing came to my mind again and again, in case if he asked that I should be prepared. So even if I have to go back in time, I would never change anything.
You will restart the same thing.
Same thing, because all those experiences only made me who I am.
Correct.
If those experiences are not there, then I am not me. I'm someone else. I might be someone else.
Correct.
So that is one thing. It's been coming to my mind again and again. It will be a complete loss if I don't share it.
So as I think as I said that you're doing a really great job, and the confidence that you have, because it required a lot of effort, lot of risk, and lot of things that comes to your path that you need to go through that. It's all good luck to you, whatever you're doing. Stay in touch.
Sure.
And right, yeah, that's how it is. But I want to tell you that for me it was a meaningful conversation. I want, please send a message or send contact details of yours if anybody want to connect with you for the businesses. How can they connect with you?
So they can check in our website www.futureik.com, or they can search for our company in social medias. We are mainly active in LinkedIn. You can search for FutureIK Technologies, or you can get my details in the description below, and then you can get in touch with me, and we are happy to help you with whatever your digital signage requirements are.
Thank you so much, Jinu, for
It was a
coming here.
pleasure talking to you.